It is lights out and away we go. Hello racers, welcome to episode 44 of the Harder Softs F1 podcast. I'm your host, Adrian Huff, and I'm joined by my co-host, RJ McCullough, whose favorite team just debuted their livery for us, or their livery for us. Do you want to go into that a little bit, RJ, about your favorite team?
I would like to go into that. I would also first just like to point out that you couldn't even get through that sentence properly because you knew it was such a lie that you had to say livery, even though I've heard you say livery a million times. So that's just a testament to it not going through your brain properly. But yeah, we're recording this just after the Red Bull launch, so I'm a little tired. I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of Red Bull's shit. That's what I'm tired of. Because they were going, oh, we have this new... I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here, so just bear with me.
I'm here.
They went on this whole thing of, oh, we're going to have a new, different design. It's going to be a different livery this year. Or livery, as some Red Bull fans would say. And no. Exact same car they had for the last 8 years. Not only that, they had a panel of this 18-year-old snowboarder, all these Red Bull athletes. They had a fencer that came on to tell us that, in fact, Formula One drivers are athletes. So I'm really glad that a fencer was able to tell us that at a Formula One car launch. Mm-hmm. What else happened? They had they brought out Daniel Ricciardo, sort of his debut with Red Bull, and this is
back with the team.
Yeah, and this is how.
A big round of applause and welcome back, 8-time Grand Prix winner and one of the friendliest drivers in the F1 grid, Daniel Ricciardo, to Oracle Red Bull Racing.
Now, we talked about this earlier, but to me that sounds like she called him Daniel Ricciardo. And so there's that. And then they had...
Oh my God, no!
There was a couple other things that happened. They tried to... They were like,
man.
Now we're going to bring out Stefano Domenicali, whatever his title is.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting. And they go back to the conversation. A good 4 or 5 minutes later, the host guy just turns and... Oh, by the way, Stefano Domenicali is not here. Like, how does that happen? How do you just think a guy's there and he's not there? Mm-hmm. Very strange. Yeah, just a complete waste of time. And really the main takeaway is this sort of got the season started for me personally, because just hearing and seeing the voice and the face of Christian Horner and Max Verstappen, but more so Christian Horner, really just got the blood boiling for me. So,
yeah, I'm sure.
As I mentioned to you today, with this absolute shit show of a launch, is the beginning of the end of the Red Bull dynasty, which lasted 1 year.
Yeah, very briefly. Listen, this is... I mean, we can technically call this the start of season 2. I mean, we haven't... Has Haas launched after our last time we recorded, right?
Correct.
So technically, this is our first episode since a car launch. So we can also sort of discuss the Haas one later. But yeah, it was interesting. As someone who actually likes Red Bull, I was also super, super disappointed. It was, like you said, a real boring shit show. Just completely pointless. Just there to probably make shareholders happy and show off their sponsors, yada, 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 yada. And it does track perfectly for sort of how Red Bull does business, just regards to their own brand. But yeah, it just kept getting worse and worse to me. That panel of the 4 athletes was just really, really hard to sit through, because I mean, these people obviously don't know shit about Formula One. They only do because they basically went to a race as a PR stunt as, Red Bull's team. So, and that poor guy, the snowboarder, man, he just, he couldn't get through his questions, man. I felt so bad for him. But, yeah, that was tough. That aside, it was just really, really boring. And, yeah, that guy, the fucking fencer, being like, listen, I want to put this to rest. F1 drivers are definitely athletes. Dude, I put my phone down. I'm like, dude, are you fucking kidding me? Like, no, I mean, I guess that's something people say, but those people are not saying that fencers are.
Yeah,
no, but nobody's saying that. Yeah. It was just, I don't know, just having a skateboarder, a fencer, a skier and a snowboarder. I mean, no hate to those sports or even those people on the panel, but like, what is the point of having them? Like, I know they're Red Bull athletes, but this is the F1 car launch. It's just, a way for them to pad time. And yeah, I mean, after the Ford announcement, I just turned it off. When I saw Max driving a F-150, I was like, this is a commercial. We're just watching a commercial, which we'd already seen the car, so I was like, whatever. And yeah, their aero director teased the potential of Red Bull maybe changing up their livery this season. Of course, that turned out to be false, but they did announce that they are doing this sort of like contest or competition. They're letting fans submit their own liveries for Red Bull, and they're going to be doing, I think it's 3 different ones, or it's the same one at all 3 USGPs, or it's a different one at all 3. Either way, they're going to have a different livery at all of the United States Grand Prix, which I do think is cool, but I wish they would have been a little more ambitious with their launch. I did like seeing Christian and Sergio, Max, and Daniel all together talking about the season. It did make me feel a little bad for Daniel, and of course the hosts just kind of made it a little awkward, but it still got me pumped for the season to start.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There was also one thing we were talking about, that the guy hosting it said that last year Red Bull were the only team to have both cars start every race in the top 4.
Yep.
And just, excuse me, I haven't had a chance to go through the whole season, but like I know, it's obviously Max came from behind at Spa, so he started 14th at Spa. So, I mean, is that because he had, did he have to get like engine upgrades or something that pushed him back on the grid? Maybe he qualified top 4? I don't know. I didn't have enough time to really look at that, but I don't know, right away I was kind of like, I don't think that sounds, both drivers top 4 each race starting. I don't think so, but maybe.
Sure. I mean,
benefit of the doubt, I guess.
I feel like, I don't know, either they both qualified in the top 4 every race, which I don't know if that's accurate, because like you said, Max has not started a race in the top 4 every time this season, so I'm just curious where
like, he must have had a few bad qualies that he didn't finish top 4.
Yeah, like cite them sources. Like, where did you get, like, how are you putting that together is what I'm saying, what I'm curious about.
Yeah, it's some sort of manipulation of, because they definitely didn't start every race top 4, both of them. But maybe they qualified top 4 every race. We're gonna have to look through that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just all in all, as you said, not really worth waking up for. I mean, we both had to get up anyways, but not nothing special. It's kind of what, at the end of the day, we always look back on it like, why do we expect anything different? But
yeah,
you're always hoping, you're always hoping for just something that you can be like, oh, that was amazing. But it was not.
No.
What do you think? I know you just kind of went through it, but as an American and as a Red Bull fan, the coming together of Ford and Red Bull, I know it's not till 2026, but that's got to make you happy, yeah?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's definitely a cool opportunity. We've already discussed this during the event, but the Ford E car that they brought out was, a little lackluster. I mean, it just looked like your typical suburban, like a Honda Pilot, basically, with Red Bull colors, which
strange.
I just don't get why you wouldn't put like the Red Bull colors on a fucking Mustang. I guess that's not a technical, just straight up Ford car. It's a Ford Mustang, but I don't know. But the partnership itself is super cool. Red Bull's definitely wanting to put more of a foothold in the United States, and they also announced that Daniel is going to be doing 2 different driving events where they, there's like those videos of the huge crowds and they're driving down the streets. Daniel's going to be driving in Chicago and Nashville. So as soon as they announce those dates, I'm going to be planning to go to Nashville, because I am not going to miss out on an opportunity to drive less than 6 hours and see a Formula One car driven by Daniel Ricciardo live in front of me.
That'd be awesome.
Kidding me?
I know there's an IndyCar race in Nashville, so maybe it'll be around that time, and that would be cool, because then we could do 2 for 1. But
it'd be fantastic.
We'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, as we kind of alluded to earlier, we had second well, I guess it was actually the first livery launch in Haas, and I think we're both in agreement, but I really liked it. Mostly black with a little bit of red and white. I'm glad they went away from the red, white, and blue Russian / kind of American look.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think of him? What would you give it, like, out of 10? Just pure, like, aesthetic. Obviously, we don't know how it's gonna race yet.
Yeah, just based on the livery compared to last year, I would give it a 7. I don't know. Like you said, yeah, the red, white, and blue just never really worked out because it always came across Russian. I do feel like there's a little bit of a missed opportunity because we've seen, like, Haas themselves have created some really cool concepts for American flag liveries, and there's been so many amazing, like, fan concepts. I just feel like they kind of missed that opportunity because, I don't know, but they also don't really super lean into the whole we're an American team thing but as well. So the red, black, and white, it's cool. I'm not going to hate. I really like it. It's definitely more exciting than Red Bulls.
Yeah, it was at least something a little new and fresh, and they also have a new, like, title sponsor or whatever you call it. They're MoneyGram Haas.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, maybe they'll do a special livery with, like, dollar bills and design all that all around. That'd be so cool.
Man,
so
the
cool.
Kevin Magnussen edits.
Yeah, man. Hope he gets another sneaky pole this year.
Mm-hmm.
But
speaking of Haas,
yes,
their driver that they let go this year has been doing pretty well for himself.
Yeah, big week for him. So there's 2 things. I'll let you handle the second one. The first was just kind of surprising that he was named McLaren's reserve driver as well. We had said last week that it was Alex Paulo. That's a hard name for me to say. Those letters just don't work in my brain. Alex Paulo. But I guess it's Mick now, so he'll probably you'd think he might get at least one chance to race this year. But who knows what's actually going to happen. But that was a bit of a surprise. And then, he also competed last weekend, and that went pretty well too.
Yeah. The Race of Champions just finished, and our boy Mick got they call it a vice win, which means he got runner-up, second place, which is an amazing feat. I mean, Bottas, I don't even think Bottas made it in the top 10, and Mick beat Mika, he beat Seb, he really did a great job, and I don't think anybody would have predicted Mick to, pull out a result like he did, and he had potential to actually win, so, like, it shows that he's a for sure capable and talented driver. And I definitely had no clue what the Race of Champions was about, because when I saw that Seb and Mick announced that they were racing together, I was like, are they teammates? But I didn't realize it was like F1. Obviously, they're teammates, but, they're not helping each other, which makes sense. But, excuse me, it's very cool. I do feel a little bad for Alex Palou, just because he has a lot of talent, and I just feel like he's always had, like, been so close to, like, a potential opportunity like Nick DeVries got, and he's just never been able to get there. But it is a great opportunity for Mick. Like you said, he has double the chance to actually get a drive in this season as a reserve driver. So, he's covering 4 drivers. So we could see them, even potentially Williams too, no? Or have they already announced a reserve driver? Because they're technically in contract with Mercedes as well.
Yeah, I don't think they have, because they just recently named their team principal, but that could be good for Mick. But I just want to circle back on one thing that you said that I have to correct you on, because you used the phrase, our guy, Mick Schumacher. Well, now that he's on Team Mercedes, my guy. Not your guy, my guy.
Your guy.
Say goodbye. Daniel Ricciardo can no longer be my guy. Mick
That's
can no
true.
longer be your guy. I still love Danny, and you can still love Mick, but he's not your guy.
That's true. I'll take Danny. That's fine. But if Mick races for Lando or Oscar, though, he's temporarily my guy, or he's temporarily our guy. He'll be our guy.
I'll let you have that. But yeah.
Oh no! If he replaces Russell or Lewis, though, it's all you.
All right, I can roll with that. Another. Just seems like every week there's drama continuing with the FIA, and we have another bit, but they seem to have been making a little bit of progress. They have announced like a application process, I guess, for new teams to join in either 2025, 2026, or 2027. So just wrote a little thing. The FIA has formally opened the process for new teams to join the grid in the next few years. They've explained that the FIA will assess each application on a rigorous financial and technical analysis, which means that the team in question will need to prove that they can raise and maintain sufficient funding to participate in F1 at a competitive level. Prospective teams must also illustrate how they intend to achieve a positive societal impact whilst participating in the sport. They'll also have to show how they will manage sustainability factors as the push for F1 to become carbon neutral by 2030 continues. The earliest a new team could join the grid is 2025, and the FIA have stated the maximum number of teams competing in the championship is capped at 12. So
Makes sense.
yeah, not necessarily new, but just they've actually like formally laid out the process. So a couple more hoops for Andretti to jump through, and whoever else wants to apply. So yeah, just kind of that's been an ongoing saga, and then it seems like the FIA president might be on his way out. Seems like they're kind of trying to push him out. Some like old quotes of his came up that were pretty sexist. I didn't even see what they actually were. I just saw that they were sexist. I didn't even want to look into it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, apparently teams are coming increasingly unhappy with FIA President Mohammed Ben Sulayem following a number of controversies. Yeah, we had the one with Liberty Media and the bidding. And there's stuff that he said in the past. The BBC reports that figures within the sport are becoming increasingly disgruntled by the FIA president. There has been widespread disgust. One anonymous team principal stating that everyone thinks he's got to go. That is definitely the general view. So, I mean, we'll see. It's just an ongoing something every week. I don't even really know what to make of it anymore other than just to mention it, but
sure.
It's that.
I mean, I say let him go.
Yeah, if it's this much of an issue, like
I do think it's funny that all of a sudden the heads at F1 all of a sudden care about the social impact and the carbon or the environmental impact that you're going to leave joining the sport. I think that's kind of funny that they all of a sudden care about that when they just put, that rule that the drivers aren't allowed to make political or environmental statements or anything like that during race weekends, which is fun.
Yeah, even Helmut Marko said that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
So he's going against it. You got something. There we go. We didn't have too much to talk about this week because we just really wanted to get into the Red Bull livery and the absolute disgusting team that they are. There was an article. Hold on.
I can't wait for Mercedes reveal.
I know it's everybody has a target on their back. So,
oh my God!
Two different computers here.
Almost had a stroke.
So there's an article with all which qualifying format is the best in motorsport. So if you want to pull that up, we can go through them. It's just,
sure.
If you type in like race fans, if you Google race fans, which best qualifying format, this should be the first thing that comes up. I forgot to link it.
Got it.
Okay. Tell me when you're
Good
on the
cup
page.
of Joe. I'm here.
Cup of Joe. All right. So we've got a couple of qualifying formats. Go through them, and we're going to pick which one we think would be the best for F1, or do we think the one they have right now is the best. So
Lit.
the first open timed session, which is they have in F2, F3, WEC, etc. So this is the traditional qualifying format, one or more timed practice sessions of a specified length, often 50 or 30 minutes or an hour. So basically cars can go out in those sessions. This was the primary format used in Formula 1 for decades, with multiple qualifying sessions run in the grid order set using each driver's overall fastest time across the sessions. In 1996, F1 moved to a 1 hour single session with each car limited to 12 laps. It remained that way until 2003, but the open session system is still used across many junior series today. So it seems like that's just they take the best time from all their sessions, not just like that particular session.
I think it's just from that hour-long session.
Right.
If I'm
okay,
not
yeah.
mis-
So it's not like it's broken up. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
So it's like
So just
it's like a
open time,
qualifying practice, basically.
Okay. Yeah, basically, and then whatever your best time is in that hour.
Mm-hmm.
One-shot quali, which they actually, I'm surprised I didn't know that they had this in F1 from 2003 to
Wild.
2005, and like even doing it in the video game, it's just not great. But yeah, just one shot. You got one lap. Each driver just got a single flying lap in which to set their qualifying time, with any mistake going heavily punished. So yeah, that
That
one.
is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Glad they
crazy.
got rid of that quick. Multi-stage knockout, which is what they have in IndyCar, MotoGP, and F1.
Mm-hmm.
So we know what that is, where you just go through the stages, like 20 to 15 to 10. Then they have elimination qualifying, which they had it in F1 for 1 year. I'm curious to see what this is. Bernie Ecclestone, blah, 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 radically changed. Known as elimination qualifying, the system retained the 3-stage format, but eliminated the slowest driver at set intervals. So sort of like that elimination mode in F1 game. Drivers on the bubble had to improve their personal best time before the countdown reached 0, otherwise they would be eliminated from the session. So they only did this for 2 rounds of the 2016 season, and then
That's
got rid of
wow.
it. That's crazy. Multi-stage knockout with super pole. Jesus. Combining the open session format with one-shot qualifying. Open session determines a set number of drivers who qualify for a shootout for pole. Then the drivers get one flying lap to determine final starting order. Okay. And then we have duels, which Formula
that.
E. Yeah, I don't like that either. Then we have duels with Formula E, which we briefly talked about last week. Or a couple weeks ago. This is the last one. So, yeah, they start with the field split into half. 2 open sessions are held with the top 4 drivers of each progressing to the final 8 duels. The 8 drivers then compete head-to-head over a single lap at the same time, with the fastest driver progressing to the next round. Oh, so I guess they just go like head-to-head in a single lap. That's interesting. Third round featuring the final 2 drivers in a battle for pole. So, yeah, out of all those, duels, multi-stage knockout with super pole, elimination qualifying, multi-stage knockout, one-shot qualifying, and open time session. Is there a top 1, 2, or 3 in there that you like, or
Yeah.
what do you think?
I definitely think what we have now is the preferred method for me. Q1, Q2, Q3 just is so perfect. Besides that, I think duels could be really cool. Maybe not every week, but like if we did it like maybe, I guess sprints are sort of taking over, but it would be, Formula E just adopted it, so it would be really interesting if 1 to 3 times a season we got to see them try this out, and we could see, various sets of drivers go head-to-head, which could be really, really cool. Besides duels, though, I will say the multi-stage knockout with Super Pole is absolutely terrible. I despise that. And the fact that they undid elimination qualifying after 2 races is just... That is like a complete embarrassment. I didn't even know that happened. Like, that's shameful.
So weird.
Changing it mid-season.
I kind of want to go back and watch those 2 qualifying sessions because it's only 2016, so you can definitely watch them back on like F1 TV or whatever.
Yeah,
that's just weird. Like they do it based on time. Like it's not based on laps. It's based on a timer that runs out. I don't know. It sounds
sure.
It probably sounds more complicated than it is, but it does not sound good. But yeah, I agree. There's only really 2 good options there. The one we have now, and Formula E sounds intriguing. It would be cool to see the guys go head-to-head. I didn't really know, I guess, that they, at least by the wording of it, that they go head-to-head at the same time. So, like, they're both
weird.
going. Yeah, I thought it was, like, one goes, the other goes. So that would be kind of cool going head-to-head, but, like side-to-side. But that would also, like, really affect your racing line. So I don't know how that...
I don't think it'd be practical, especially for F1.
Yeah.
But the open time sessions. As far as like fairness goes, that like could be a good way to go. But for Formula One, it just doesn't really make sense. They would never do that because nobody's gonna sit and just watch an hour-long gap of just drivers doing random laps. Our Q1 to 3 is like the most perfectly set up for fairness and entertainment. Like, it's a mix. You get eliminations. You get drivers, going down to the last seconds trying to get their laps in. It's perfect. You can't beat it. And
Yeah.
the last one on the list, one shot, it's cool, but it just is not fair at all. And I think it pushes drivers to maybe make some unsafe risks, potentially pushing it like farther than the limit allows. So I definitely don't think that needs to make a comeback, as crazy as that is.
Yeah, it also seems like kind of, based on my limited knowledge, I guess, kind of unfair in terms of like track. Like obviously, the more laps the cars do, the more like the quicker the track gets, because they rubber down, whatever they say. So it seems like it would be a huge advantage to go last,
Yeah,
as opposed
for
to
sure.
like first in one shot quali. But yeah, thankfully we don't have to deal with that, so it doesn't
Absolutely.
matter. But yeah, interesting to see all the different kind of qualifying things they have in all the other, whatever you want to call it, types of motorsport. Yeah. So yeah, that's really all we have this week. Not too much to discuss. Is there anything else you had?
I don't think so. I'm excited. We're dipping our toes into this new season. I'm ready. Want to dive in. This February is going to be just like a slow drip.
Yeah, that's right. We got, I guess we didn't do the countdown. Let me just look it up right quick.
Oh yeah, check it, and then you can take us out.
What is it? March 5th is the day.
Yep.
Count days until March 5th. 30 days.
Oh wow.
30
Oh
days.
yeah, February's a short month.
And we got, like 20 days until, so we're less than 3 weeks till cars are on track for testing.
Yes.
Remember last year they had like fences on the cars and stuff, so it's really hard to tell. And we kept thinking Mercedes was sandbagging, but the car actually was shit at the start.
Yeah.
But hey,
Damn.
and I saw that they're going to be broadcasting it live. I think it's like at 7 a.m. or something, but whatever. We'll be getting up because the first time cars on track is so exciting just to see them and hear them and all that. So yeah, less than 3 weeks away. We're going to have our draft. I don't think this upcoming week, but the week after that.
Yep.
So yeah, we've been kind of ironing out the details for that. And
Very excited.
yeah, our next reveal next week we've got Williams on the 6th and Alfa Romeo on the 7th. So
Let's do it.
yeah. So yeah, that's really I think all we've got this week. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching, listening. As always, please like and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts at Hard or Soft F1 Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Hard or Soft F1. That is it for me. Adrian, since it was your day with your just abhorrent team and their disgusting display that they put on this morning, I'll let you have the final word.
Props to Daniel Ricciardo. See y'all next week.
Perfect.